Good evening, everyone. It is Wednesday, July 9th, and we're here for another Jesus Short, and we're covering the feast days and how they entail Jesus' second coming. The fall feasts do. Yom Kippur. This is a very sacred, has yet to be fulfilled. It is the day in which the sins of Israel are given a sacrifice to appease God for a year, and so that he can look upon Israel without seeing their sin. 2 goats were offered. I'm not going to go into it because that's a whole long teaching, but we've taught it before on a couple of different occasions. Hopefully you remember those or have seen them. The Day of Atonement, Leviticus 23. The Lord says to Moses, the 10th day of this 7th month is the Day of Atonement. Hold a sacred assembly and deny yourselves, which means do not eat, and present a food offering to the Lord. Now, if you don't, and I think it's in here, but if you don't, if you don't withhold food from yourself, the punishment for that on Yom Kippur is much more severe than it is any other time. You're actually kicked out of the Jewish church, and you're not allowed to have a participation with God. It's extremely severe. You shall do no work at all. This is to be a lasting ordinance for the generations to come, wherever you live. It is a day of Sabbath rest for you, and you must deny yourselves, meaning you don't eat. From evening on the 9th day of the month until the following evening, you are to observe your Sabbath. Leviticus 16. Then he is to take from the congregation of Israel two he-goats for a sin offering and 1 ram for a burnt offering. Now the 2 goats, one represents Azazel, which is one of the ancient angels that were sent down as one of the sons of God from Genesis chapter 6. Or it's also in oh goodness, I can't believe I'm forgetting the name of the. It's not a biblical book. But it's in there also, and it talks about the 2 that Azazel was one of the gods who came down and made super beings with the daughters of men. Then Aaron is to offer the bull for the sin offering, which is for himself, and make atonement for himself as his house. See, and that sin offering that Aaron has to offer was to make sure that he's pure when he walks into the Holy of Holies, because only the high priest can go into the Holy of Holies. We see that because Jesus became our high priest in the New Testament, and on the day of his resurrection, all those spirits that were in Sheol on the paradise side were seen in the streets of Jerusalem. And Jesus, they had to rise. They were the first humans that ever got to go up into heaven, and they were Jesus's first fruit offering on the day of first fruit to his Father, which allowed him in Hebrews chapter 9 to go in and purify all the vessels of the heavenly temple. That God told Moses to make all these things in the earthly temple after those you saw in heaven. Aaron will then cast lots for the two goats, 1 lot for Adonai and the other for the scapegoat, which is Azazel. Now Jesus represented the goat for God, for Adonai, and Azazel represented the goat that was for Azazel, which represents Lucifer. So he was the one, and Barabbas was released into the wilderness just like the scapegoat was, and Jesus was sacrificed just like the goat for God was. I know I say this every week. I hope, please, this is so serious because we are at the time of Jesus' return. And if you have anyone you know, even if you don't know them, share the gospel. That's what we're called to do. And share our information, streetlightgr.com/Facebook, or you can reach us at YouTube, on Streetlight Bible Study 4006, no spaces. Be blessed, and again, always be a blessing. Even when what affects people who don't believe the most is when we can smile in the face of adversity, because they can't. Everybody have a blessed evening. See you in a week.